Hey everyone, welcome back to Tube Talk. It's Travis here with Jen and a special guest. Say hi, Jen.
Hi, but our special guest is more important than me.
That's right. You know him, you love him. He's the face of vidIQ. He's Rob.
Hello, everybody. It has been a good long while since I have graced this podcast with my presence. But the stingers are still exactly the same. So I kind of still feel as if I'm at home.
It's like you've never left. And for those watching on YouTube, obviously you recognize Rob. For those listening to the audio podcast, you probably should go over to YouTube and check out this in video form so you can see Rob in the flesh. Of course, the links for that will be in the show notes. And speaking of show notes and the things we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, we've been telling you guys and gals that you can send messages to us and we'll answer them on the show. Well, y'all have taken advantage of that this week, ladies and gentlemen. Holy monkey. I'm going to tell you something. We're going to have a good time today, and Rob's going to help answer some of these questions because why not? So if you've never sent in a message before you listen to this and you're getting kind of jealous and you feel like you're missing out, you can always send us an email at theboost@gmail.com. The boost at vidIQ.com. Theboost@vidIQ.com. Or in the show notes for the audio podcast, there's a link there that says send us a message, which is like a text message, which is a thing, believe it or not. So let's get started on all the messages we have. And this probably entire show will probably be based all on these messages. But the nice thing is there's some really good questions here. So the first one I'm going to get to actually is a YouTube comment. I've already said I don't want to answer YouTube comments here because there's just too many of them. But because this question was actually good, I'm breaking the rule. What else?
Travis, you broke the rule last week. You said last week. No.
Is the first rule of the boost to break all rules?
I mean, it feels like it.
Yeah.
But this is it. We're not doing this again. Never again. Only time we're doing this. Okay, here we go.
Until
hey,
next
you two,
week.
I'm new to the podcast a month or so, and now new to the vodcast. I guess that's what this is.
Oh!
I love it. This is called a vodcast now. I've never heard of that. Is that a new thing?
Is that a thing? Are we all this out of touch?
I'm going to Google this right now. Vodcast.
You better Google it, Rob,
okay.
while I get the rest of this. I like it. I like it a lot. Travis confirmed watch time is reduced if we watch at 1x, 1.5x, or 2x, etc. Does that explain why a lot of creators run through their scripts like they just drank 10 cups of coffee, or is it aimed at retention? Thoughts. Also, please don't start doing that to the tempo. I love the tempo of the show, and that's why I watch. Thank you for all you do. Expect an email from this to be with friends. Okay. Is that why people run through their scripts like they drank 10 cups of coffee, Jen? Do you think that's the purpose?
I have to say no, because I didn't even know that until last week. I think I talk naturally fast, especially if I'm excited. Like, oh boy. So I don't know. Unless everyone else knows what I don't know. Rob, did you know this?
So I have a bit of a love-hate relationships with scripts in general, in that I find it really difficult to speak on camera without a script. But at the same time, I know how they change my cadence and my speed. Ooh. And what I sometimes do is I try to have a script over to one side, but then try and remember what I'm going to say from the script. But because I have a terrible short-term memory, because I was born after 1980, like everybody else's, the memory's been destroyed by video games and whatnot, I forget what I'm supposed to say, and so I panic and almost rush. And I still do that after like 1,500 videos. I have recently purchased a teleprompter. Have you heard of, what's it called? The one from Elgato.
Elgato?
The Elgato prompter. And I'm experimenting with now, and I'm finding it quite useful. Yeah, I am now starting to learn how to speak to a teleprompter, but I still don't know if it feels more natural than just being able to almost have a conversation with the lens of a camera. That I've spoken to you about this before, Travis. Sorry, I'm taking over this podcast already.
No, go ahead. Feel free.
You're here to take over this podcast.
Maybe this is like an intervention. I spoke to Travis about this before, where somehow I think the biggest unlock for me, the next big unlock for me, is to be able to talk to camera for 5 minutes, just casually, naturally, and turn that into a video, as opposed to filming for 10 seconds, having a clip, then filming for 10 seconds and having a clip, and so on and so on. So, yeah, that's my big, long answer to the question about scripts. I think the TLDR is yes, but I can't remember what the question was.
All right.
That feels about right for this space.
Yeah, yes, that's the answer. Okay.
I do have an answer as well to what a vodcast is, but I'm going to do it in my Wikipedia voice. Is that okay?
Do it, please.
Oh, please.
Vodcasts are essentially more versatile podcasts. Creators still upload the audio file to their podcast host and continue appearing on podcast listening apps, but they also publish video recordings of their show to video-friendly platforms like YouTube and social media.
That's it. I didn't know we were a vodcast. That's amazing.
Stop. This is embarrassing, Travis.
I didn't know.
We didn't even know that we are a vodcast.
You know what the hilarious thing is as well? I've actually quoted that from the Riverside site, and that's what we used to record, right?
Oh, really? Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I just
my
realized that this is from Riverside.fm.
Bruh.
Do my sound effects work?
It's an extra insult.
Oh, no, we don't. No,
You have to go through your mixer. But I mean, that's embarrassing.
Oh
That's
my
embarrassing.
gosh.
Okay, let me go back to these messages before everyone realizes we don't know what we're talking about and stop listening to the podcast. Okay, here we go. There you go. I heard that.
Yeah, good.
Okay,
I've got working now.
This is a text message. Believe it or not, we can actually take text messages.
Nice.
Here we go. Listen to the most recent episode, and I have challenged myself to beat your new channel to 100,000 subscribers. I haven't taken my channel serious for a while, but the competition is a big motivation for me. By the way, it is for me too. And I'm restarting today. My channel is Storytime Theater. Good luck. Love the show. That's amazing.
That
I love
is
that.
huge. The fact that we even re-sparked that a little bit, let alone to this level, that's amazing. We can retire.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
Well, you can't because you've got to get to 100,000 subscribers first, right?
Okay, Rob.
I mean, look, is it really?
I mean, we've got to make sport out of this, haven't we?
I mean,
Oh
I
my
guess.
gosh.
I mean, it's okay if one of our listeners beats us because then we're really good. I think,
man.
right? That means we're really awesome at what we do. Am I wrong here, or what am I thinking? Am I wrong?
It means they take our advice better than we take our own.
Well, we already admitted that. We already admitted that. Rob Wilson also knows that he doesn't take a lot of our own advice, and so we've already admitted this on the podcast.
Well, it's so hard when
Do the
you're
opposite
doing
of everything
it.
I say.
Do the opposite of everything you say.
Yeah.
Okay, then give us one piece of YouTube advice that you never take yourself.
Oh, I
go
love
there.
this.
Yeah,
Let's
all
just
right, I
go
can
there.
do this. So, making thumbnails first. Like, I suggest that to everybody, but I still have a really hard time making the thumbnail before I make the video. Now, in my defense, I think I have a lot of thumbnail templates that I know I'm going to reference. And it also helps that we have a thumbnail contractor who assists us with that. But I still give the concept of the thumbnail to the designer after I've made a video. So, yeah, I hope nobody is listening to this podcast and then goes and trolls me in the comments when I next do that in a video.
All right. Well, I mean, listen, what did we say that we did? I mean, we've admitted a lot of things on this podcast.
Yeah,
but
we
there's
have
a couple
admitted a
things.
lot of things. I think thumbnails was one of ours too, whether we
Yeah.
admitted it or not. I
Yeah,
think
I
we
mean-
mentioned it though, that thumbnails was one.
I think so. Okay, next message. Text message. This one's from Holly, Michigan. I don't know if it's Holly from Michigan or there's a place in Michigan called Holly. I don't know. It could be both. I don't know.
Oh my
Heck,
gosh.
it could be Holly, Michigan. That could be the person's name. Probably not, but we're going to find out. Testing out this feature. This is the text message feature. Thanks for showing up week over week. Love your app and how it summarizes everything on a growing channel. Am I missing something? Is there a section to rate descriptions and titles before submitting it to YouTube? I like to rank a title as I come up with topics so I can go through a rough title of my opening my video, and y'all rock. So doesn't our scorecard kind of do that, or it quote optimizes or something? I think.
Yeah, our tools are being updated so much at the moment, it's difficult to keep track of where they are. But having said that, when you upload a piece of content to YouTube, I'm assuming this person isn't immediately setting it to public. And if they aren't, that should mean that all of our tools are able to assess and judge the quality of it.
Yeah.
I don't
What was
think
it? What
once
are they
anything
trying
goes
to
public,
accomplish?
So they
it
want to
grades
know
anything
specific.
new.
There's a lot. So first of all, the problem with questions like this is Rob and I look at versions of the software that sometimes aren't released yet, and we don't even know what's released versus what isn't sometimes because we see it so early. Sometimes we forget. We got other things we're doing. So what they're asking specifically is there's a section to rate titles and descriptions before submitting it. We have things that optimize for it and even write it for you, which might be a better move for that. Because we do have a title generator that you can get you a good starting. We have a description generator, which is amazing, by the way, because who wants to write the description? So I would probably use those instead. Which, by the way, link in the description of the YouTube video here, and I think of the show notes if you want to try Boost for free, which gives you a lot of these awesome tools. You should definitely check those out. They also help us pay the bills so we can be here every week. So, you know, you can do the free one or you can do the paid one, which gives you even more options. Whichever is best for you. Okay. So those are the text messages. Let's move on to the emails. Okay. First one, this one, the funny thing is, so Jen and I recorded this episode, I think last Thursday, last Thursday. We're recording this one on a Thursday as well. And I think it was like an hour after we were done editing it that this email came in. So they've literally been waiting all week. So they've been waiting a long time for this one. This one's a channel naming question. Hi, Travis and Jen. First of all, loving the new format of the show. I subbed to the new channel right before writing this and just wanted to seek some advice on a personal debate I've been having with myself. Okay.
Ooh, internal struggle. Let's
that
hear
work
it.
out? I think they should make that into a video. That is a video idea in itself.
It's a great listen. I'd be debating myself. Okay, I'm working on a YouTube channel in my spare time focused on reminiscing about retro video games. All right, you got me already. I'll subscribe to that already. Okay. And the way they made us feel when we played them for the first time growing up, with an occasional video about the modern indie game created with retro styling and how those games can give us the same magical feeling of old games, like the old games did. I currently called my channel Frank the Dank, I think, but it's with PH, so it's PHRANQ, and then DANQ. So I think it's Frank the Dank, which is essentially just the funny name that I use for online gaming. Should I consider renaming my channel something more targeted to the audience of nostalgia feeling for those games?
Okay.
Or should I chalk it up to personal branding and keep it as it is? I just feel like no one's ever going to type in Frank the Dank into a search bar because of course if they did, it'd be a dream come true. I also have some really fun name ideas, but hesitant to pull the trigger. Thanks for reading. Keep up the awesome work. Frank the Dank.
Yep. So I guess
my feelings.
What we should start off by saying is it's a very unique name and it's memorable, but it doesn't sound like it's easy to spell because it has an unusual spelling. So that might make it more difficult to spell.
Yeah.
But I also do resonate with what the creator is saying, is that in the perfect world, they would love to be remembered by that name and be searched by that. Like, I guess Markiplier might be the North Star that they're heading towards. In that, nobody searches for that unless the channel has 10 million subscribers, in which case a lot of people search for it. So I'm not necessarily giving an opinion yet, but I think the creator is already in the right place with their channel name.
Jen?
I love it. I'm like, keep it. It's hilarious. If this is like your gamer handle too, I think it's funny. Also, people don't search for channel names. People are going to be searching for your content.
That's true.
So that's kind of where that to me, like, it doesn't matter. I also find really obscure channel names hilarious. Like, remember cashew lavender milk latte or whatever that channel was, Travis?
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, that's hilarious. And I was like, I still think about that to this day. And I'm like, I don't know what it had to do with the channel, but it cracked me up. And I think that it's okay if you want to leave it as just a personal branding and just, focus on your video titles and have those make sense and maybe avoid some wonky spellings in those.
Funny you say that about remembering channel names. There's a person, I went to a YouTuber meetup in Seattle years and years and years ago. I probably couldn't tell you almost anyone else's channel name in that group except for one person's. And it's just because their name was so unique and it just kind of stuck with you. It was Metal for Breakfast. And you just don't forget something like that.
That is a chef's kiss. channel
Really
name
It
was,
means
yeah.
so many things to me. I love
really,
it.
yeah. I still don't know to this day what it means, and I became friends with him afterwards. I think so. Frank the Tank is an interesting name. You're definitely not going to forget it. There becomes a point in YouTube quote success where your name kind of doesn't matter as much. It's nice for remembrance and stuff. I personally would love to see something that was connected more to the retro scene, and then maybe keep Frank the Tank for something else. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, if you like it and people are rocking with it, then just go for it. Because as Jen said, people are not necessarily going to. Well, okay, that's not completely true. Actually, if you look up traffic sources for most YouTube channels that have any kind of established audience, you will find that one of the search terms they look for tends to be the name of the person. But it's not necessarily because they're looking up the channel. They maybe remember a video they saw and remember, oh, that person's name was this. Let me just see if I can find a video about this from that person. So you can get some views from that. But having said that, the cues are cool, but you're really going to need to make it stand out in, like, if you do a logo, make the cue really big or something, because otherwise you're going to think Frank, F-A-R-N-K, the Dank Day, and it's not going to come up. Because we have this problem, Rob, on the live streams, trying to bring up some channels sometimes.
Yeah, and we also have the famous story, don't we, in that we had a creator called Calvin, who was picked by our random channel name picker, and we couldn't find this person because there was just like dozens of Calvins on YouTube. And so they returned the week later, and they called themselves Calvin the Unfindable. And we found them straight away.
Immediately.
And now they're a moderator on a live stream and have been for at least a year.
Yeah. Calvin
That's amazing.
And you'll never forget the name now. I
That's
never forget that name.
amazing.
Just be creative. You're creative. That's why you're on YouTube. So be creative. All right. We have another. Oh, my gosh. This one has a picture. Oh, my gosh. What is going
We
on
have
with
pictures?
People are sending all this stuff. It's so much stuff. All right. This is from Chris. Hi, Travis and Jen. I'm loving the podcast and finding the advice really valuable. I have a quick question I hope you can help me with. I use a video editor, and he often uses music in the background. On my last video, I received my first copyright warning, see below, and it's a copyright claim. It implies that it won't affect things for me. My editor sent me a certificate showing he has membership with artlist.io, and the song list is included, although we'll talk about that in a second, because it doesn't necessarily mean that it's included for you. It just means that he has access to it. Question, am I covered... the question is, am I covered? My editor has rights to music, but I personally don't. So if so, is it worth disputing me this and sending a copy of the certificate, explaining the editor has music? I'd appreciate any help you can give. Okay, Chris. This is pretty easy to answer, fortunately, because I think anyone who messes around with music and any music services like Epidemic Sound or MusicBed or something like that understands that if I edit for you, because this actually happens to us a couple times, if I edit for you and I have a membership to, say, Epidemic Sound, and I edit the video to you and I send it to you, and you put it on your channel, but you don't have a membership to Epidemic Sound, you're definitely getting a copyright claim, 100%.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, one of the videos that Jen and I did, one of the first ones we did, an interview with Brett.
With Brett,
Conti. Yeah. We used a clip from his video, and in it, he used music from MusicBed, which is a service, and we don't have a license to it, so we got copyright claimed. So no, you don't have a leg to stand on, so to speak, in this particular case, because you don't have. I mean, you can definitely spend the money and license the stuff, but I don't know if it's even worth it at this point. It's one video, Rob, we get copyright claims on the vidIQ channel all the time.
Well, hang on, not all the time. We're not just
Excuse me?
flagrantly like
Hold
using
on.
copyright.
Excuse me. We had one from like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, because that was from a live stream channel audit where I think we were playing somebody else's
No, it's from
video.
no. Look again. We can't even monetize the video.
Well, there was one where I intentionally got copyright
Right.
claimed. I did it on purpose to prove a point for the video.
Sure.
I just wanted to ask the question, but I don't know the answer to this. Is it not that the editor would need a commercial license to use it for a client, and then if they had that license, they could supply it to that client who could then submit it to YouTube?
So Epidemic Sound, I'm only going to talk about Epidemic Sound because the one he's talking about, I don't really know. But Epidemic Sound uses a kind of a standardized thing. You can cover specific channels within the when you log in, it asks you which ones you want to whitelist.
Oh, okay.
And you could put that in. Like his editor, if he wanted to, could put in his channel and cover his channel.
Okay.
It's possible he's not paying enough for that. I don't know. That's between him and his editor and whatever else. But I would argue at this point, like for something like this, I don't know how big the channel is, and I don't know how many views it is.
Sure, yeah, there's argument.
My guess is it's probably not going to cost you anything. If you're worried about it affecting the results of the video, that's not going to be a thing.
Correct. No impact on the channel, no impact on discovery, unless it's blocked in certain countries, which can sometimes happen.
Right. Which they have said, no, that's not the case for this one. So I think you're safe. Again, I don't think that your editor understands that just because he has access to the software doesn't mean you do. But to be honest, if it was me, I wouldn't even waste the time dealing with it. But
there is also a new tool. I don't know if you've tried it yet on YouTube, where it will now erase the copyright claimed music, but it will retain any voice or sound effects. It is horribly compressed. It doesn't sound good. You'd much prefer to re-edit the video, but this might be in a circumstance where you were vlogging and there was some background music and you can't fix it. There's nothing you can do at your end. You'd have to let YouTube try and solve the issue.
Justin Timberlake got me real good one time with that situation. Like the smallest bit of a sound. And they were like, nope, this video, no. And then I had to mute it because that tool wasn't available yet.
It's more awkward if it's happening while you're live streaming, because they'll just shut your live stream down right in the middle of it. So
I've never had that happen. Almost anytime I live stream, I get like a million emails following it. That's like, whoa, girl. But I just listen to music on my live streams.
Does YouTube actually address you as, whoa, girl, steady on there, steady on.
That's my opening remark. We're very close. They're like, how many times have we talked about this? But I don't monetize them. But they still come at me, and I'm like, relax. No one's trying to make money here. We're just chilling.
I'm going to tell you that this is the most incredible segue ever for this next message. And this is the subject line that, as a YouTube coach, man, it pains me. It pains me. And the subject is advice for music channels. And this is from Marshall.
Oh.
Do you have any advice for starting a music channel? Should I do more than just post a finished song? How do I make music content more interesting to watch?
Nope. Next.
Okay. See you later, folks. I'm out of here.
Oh gosh.
Let's explain why it's so difficult, Jen. For you as a coach, what makes? I'll tell you what it does for me. But what does it make it so difficult for you for music channels?
Discoverable videos are really challenging, and honestly, the only advice that I give from time to time is nobody's gonna find your new song. You need to somehow make music that people are gonna recognize, whether it's a parody, a remake, something that's going to be familiar to someone. And that's the advice I give. And I would say 9 out of 10 times they don't like that advice and they don't want to do that advice.
Not to put you on the spot here, Jen, with like the coaching program we have here at vidIQ, but do we have like a coaching specialist for music channels, or like a standard operating procedure of how to help music channels start?
Not that I know of. I know that this is something that Tim has worked directly with those coaches in that position on.
Okay.
Because it's a rough one.
Yeah.
It's like everything that we learn, we teach is just like, well, it's got nothing to do with anything else. But as far as a specialist, no, I think we just have like really great resources for people to help that coach in that specific situation.
The one piece of advice I always remember from a previous vidIQ colleague was, because they had a music channel, and they said, the way to get discovered is through the discovery of the genre. So package your content so that it tells us that it's a hip hop or grunge or punk or whatever style of music, and really emphasize that, so that if people are casually searching for a style of music, you're going to get discovered. But as you said, beyond that, first of all, there's that really difficult choice of, do I make it just about the music, or do I try and wrap my journey and my passion for music around the channel as well? Because some creators can really do that. They can, musicians and people who teach music can take you on like this fantastic journey along with the love of the music. But I guess that's going to take some significant research to find out who's previously done that as a channel.
Justin Bieber? I don't know. Anyway, one of the things that makes it so difficult is you can't do a lot of the things that you would do in a video, like look at a retention graph and go, this part is good. You should do more of this. What are you going to do that in a song? Oh, the chorus is great. No one likes any other part of the song. Just do the chorus over
Straight
and over
chorus.
and over again.
2.5 minutes.
Chorus. Yeah, don't bore us.
That's
Get
it.
to the chorus.
Don't bore us.
Don't bore us. Get to the chorus. I think when I used to do one-on-one consultations a lot more, I would always feel so weird and bad about this. But I did figure out 2 pieces of advice that I could always give, and they're still good to this day. It may not help you become like the next kind of underground superstar on YouTube, but it could potentially help you be found, which is number one. Once you establish what type of genre of music you're doing, you can find YouTubers that are using music sort of similar to yours. They're going to be in different niches. What's interesting is, I know for me personally as a creator, I hate, and this has happened so many times, when I watch another creator and they use the song that I picked from like Epidemic or something, like, bro, hours I look for this thing. It was in the corner of the website that no one goes to. And yet some of the biggest YouTubers use the same damn song I do.
It had 2 downloads, and I found the other person who used it.
The other person has 5 million subscribers, of course.
This happened to me. Oh, yeah. My intro song.
Oh, that's even worse.
And
that's
it was it was my intro song, and I had it for years. And then all of a sudden some, car commercial or something to do with tech came out and used that song, and I was just like, what the hell? I am not technology. Now anytime someone hears that, they're gonna be like,
yeah,
car commercial.
A couple of times I've heard, especially even recently, like the stuff I did on Travis Tries is on Austin Evans' channel all the time, and I watch Austin Evans all the time, and I hear. But the thing is that some of this stuff was really ingrained in the scene that I used it in. So, for example, there's like a song that we used in the I tried to eat the entire McDonald's menu in an hour video, where I'm like about to get sick, and the song was playing. So whenever I hear that song, I just hear myself getting sick. So I'll see it, Austin Evans talking about a computer or something, music in the background. I'm like, he's about to throw up.
Silence for a second. You mean you feel
very similar to that? Very similar to that. And then the other one I hear pretty often on this RC channel, this radio controlled car channel, is one I did when I was in 2018. A bunch of us small YouTubers got together and we decided to do like a collab between 3 or 4 of us. I thought it'd be a great idea to challenge each other. And the way we did it was we would go on Amazon and buy a random tech thing that the other person had to review, but didn't tell them what it was until they got it. And we call it like the tech challenge, the troll tech challenge. So we tried to troll the other person, send something really dumb. Like I sent a guy a head-mounted selfie thing. So he had to do a review of this thing on this. I thought it would be hilarious. He sent me, ironically, something I wanted, which was one of those toilet bowl lights. And when you open, and it turns different colors for your toilet bowl. I thought it was great because I wanted one of those things. Ironically, when I did the B-roll for it, I had the music behind it. When I'm flushing the toilet, it's the same song this other guy uses. So every time he's using that song, I just think of a toilet flushing. So it's like, all right.
That's amazing. I got banned from the family Christmas party for gifting that toilet light as a gift.
I think it's a great gift. It broke right after I shot the video.
They came back to me, I think 6 months later, because I gave that gift. It was like a white elephant type of thing. I gave that gift, and then there was a cookbook for like a crock pot. It was called the Dump Cookbook. And I put those together, and I thought, like, how funny. How punny, if nothing else. And then 6 months later, they came out to me and they were like, I'm so sorry. I was so pissed and threw like such a fit. We love that toilet light. Like, I kid you not. We love it. It's like,
of course.
It's incredibly useful.
Of course it is. Rob's just looking at us like,
and that's how you build a music channel.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Okay. Here's another message. Oh my gosh, this is long. Okay, so everyone hang tight.
All right.
Okay.
This one's it's gonna take me a while to read this. This is a big email.
Okay.
This is from Adrian. Adrian says, "Hello, Travis and Jen," and I'll put in and Rob. I would like to start out by saying how much I love the podcast and everything you two and the team do. I love the fact that you give small creators a voice to ask questions. Not trying to get all wishy-washy, but I look forward to the new episode every week. And I thank you all for everything you do. That's really amazing. I love that.
That's so sweet.
That's incredibly sweet. I struggle with finding like-minded people who understand what I'm going through and have such a burning desire to succeed with YouTube. But I have yet to find someone to even talk about it and understand my goals in the slightest. So I found myself feeling very isolated and alone. Y'all genuinely make me feel welcome and stop me from going stir crazy. Thank you for everything you do. You've truly changed my life for the better. Before I read the rest of this.
Okay, I was going to say, can we pause?
Can we talk about this for a
Yeah.
second? Yeah. Go ahead.
This was Travis and I's entire Oh, we stopping the music?
It was only a 9-second bed anyway, so.
This was really Travis and I's goal with this podcast was to have it feel community driven, to have it feel like you just have two friends hanging out, geeking out about YouTube together. And the fact that you don't right now have those people in your life and you feel like you have that in us is like, check, we can quit again, Travis.
Yeah. And, some of the things that are in here are written so exactly to conversations you and I have had. It almost would be like, are you trolling by writing this? Because this is literally some of the things we've talked about. There's a sentiment here, Rob, and let's talk again. We'll get to your questions, but I want to talk a little bit more about this first section because my guess is there's other people listening right now that are like, yeah,
I
totally.
feel the same. Yep.
And I want to dig into this for a second because actually, when I created the Max group coaching thing here at vidIQ, community was the number one thing on my mind. It was always, and we did a podcast the other episode about the community, growing your community, and I think like it's really huge and important because this is the most popular lonely job in the world. You're potentially talking to thousands of people, but really talking to no one but your camera lens, right?
Yeah.
So you're communicating with lots of people, really only talking to one thing. And that's what makes places like Vid Summit and meetups, YouTube meetups, so magical because for the first time, you're surrounded by people that speak your language. And there's something intoxicating about that. It's unlike anything you've ever experienced. And I'm glad that we can be that for you through the podcast. Rob, when you were kind of coming up, before vidIQ, before you started getting connected with vidIQ, what was your creator journey like? Was it kind of, did you have people that you could lean on or talk to? What was that like for you?
No, not in the slightest. And I suspect majority of creators you can argue with me if you don't think this is true, are introverts. So that they used YouTube as a way to express themselves, not to anybody directly, but at the same time, hopefully to people directly, but not have that nervousness of trying to convince an individual. I always say that whatever you're feeling right now in terms of loneliness, struggles, challenges, you've had a bad, YouTube day, every single creator has had that same feeling and emotion at some point in their journey, but some haven't given up and they've achieved monetization, silver play button, gold play button, etc., etc. I never for a second thought when I was in those moments of doubt when, my latest video got 100 views in 24 hours. I didn't think in a decade's time we as a community and as a channel would be trying to shoot for 2 million subscribers. Like I never thought I'd get anywhere close to that. And it's the cliched thing to say that if I can do it, anyone can do it. But you kind of want to hype YouTube in that way that you convince people that you can succeed even if you don't think you can at the moment. And if you think the algorithm is against you or nobody's listening, people are. And you just don't realize that because you're talking to this thing here rather than talking to Travis. Did that work? I'm talking to Travis right now.
Well, Travis isn't making eye contact
Trying
with
to
you,
visualize
so
me talking
rude,
to Travis. I don't know if
I'm
this is
actually
gonna
Stop
work.
looking
ignoring
at him.
Rob.
I'm literally looking at him on my screen.
But to make it work, Travis, you're supposed to pretend that you're talking directly to me. And you're looking the wrong way. You're looking the wrong way on my screen.
For me, it looks right.
Yeah.
Anyone's watching the podcast probably is like, "What the hell is going on?" Or listening to the podcast, "What the hell is going on?"
We've
If
just
you're
got
watching the
Inception
video
here right now.
Yeah, if you're watching the video podcast, you're probably still like, "I don't understand what the hell's going on." Anyway, he's being silly, but he makes a point, and it is the most, like I said, the most lonely, popular type thing. And then, yeah, I agree. Most YouTubers are probably introverts. I think I would go further to say a lot of YouTubers are introverted narcissists. If you really want
Whoa, steady on
I
that.
want you to think about that for a minute. Not necessarily
Getting
a bad way.
savage in here.
Yeah.
I mean, we are in front of a camera trying to go, look at me, what I'm doing. I mean, a little bit. I mean,
You are kind of
anyway,
right.
let me go.
I wouldn't wear these glasses anywhere in public. Like, I've only worn these glasses at Vid Summit, where people might recognize these glasses, or like, but, yeah, I wear silly glasses because I read a book called Primal Branding, and I thought it might work, and it kind of does.
Yeah.
But
It does.
but I think they look silly, so I wouldn't wear them actually in public because I feel embarrassed to wear them.
So you
Oh
do
my
things
gosh.
specifically on platforms
Yeah,
or on brand.
yeah, that is true.
I think it's a comfort level too, though. Like I can even say for me, I feel so comfortable in, your YouTube space, in the camera, that my brain doesn't even process that other people on the internet watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same way when Travis told me the podcast numbers, I was like, wow, in my mind, it's us and whoever's emails we're reading.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, thousands of people. Okay, so let's get to his questions. Right. I do have a couple of questions. Feel free to read any of these on a podcast or not. I figured I'd shoot my shot. All right, well, your shot's getting shot. All right. My first upload was on June 7th, 2024. That's actually, just like 2 months
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
While writing this email, July 31st, I have 66 subs, 7 long-form videos, 8 shorts.
Oh?
They're very lame, but I own it. Okay, cool. Question number 1. I noticed that the shorts that I post get way better views than my long-form videos. So what I've been doing is making a short with every long-form video I have. I condense the long-form down to a short, basically, and upload them a few hours apart, and it seems to be doing decently well, I think. I know YouTube Shorts and long-form videos are two different audiences. My thinking was, since Shorts seem to do better at shotgunning at my videos out, they would be a decent way to bring traffic and attention to my channel, as well as long-form videos. If I keep up with this, should I expect to see a divide in the future with the community I develop because of the difference between longs and shorts? Is this sustainable for my channel? I also recently learned that watch hours from shorts don't count towards monetization, but they do give me subs at the very least. So that's question 1. Shorts from longs. He notices that the shorts are doing very well. He's taking them from his longs. He's concerned about how that would go. What's the general thought here, Jen? We'll start with you, Jen, and we'll get over to Rob.
You're going to start with me for shorts?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Okay. Well,
She doesn't like shorts, by the way.
I
Let's put that
don't
out
like shorts, and I wish they would leave YouTube, but it's fine that they're here. I think that you will always see a divide. I think one thing you said is correct, but not entirely. It's not different audiences. It's the same audience. They just like to hold their phone different ways. So you're going after the same people all around. It's just you're targeting their attention spans differently. Will you continue to see a divide? Yes, always. Always. You will have people that do convert, but strategy-wise, not something to count on.
Rob, vidIQ has been at the forefront of shorts since they were very first, before they were even like fully announced. They were just it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And there was like a little newsletter about it or something, and most creators didn't even know about it when we were messing around with it. You've seen many years of shorts. Your thoughts on this from like a perspective of the channel? You can even talk a little bit about how the vidIQ channel sees shorts and stuff like that.
What I would first say is well done to the creator for experimenting in different disciplines, those being longs and shorts. You're getting in the reps at the moment, which is fantastic, and I think that will serve you well in the long run. I was gonna counter argument what Jen said about it being the same audience, because you hate shorts, so you don't watch shorts, right? I don't really watch shorts either. Ooh. So I'm curious how many people actually do watch a combination of long form content and shorts. Like my wife, for example, she watches long form videos on YouTube, but she watches all her shorts on TikTok. So I'm actually really curious to know if audiences do split their time on the same platform between longs and shorts, because I think it feels to me that's kind of a challenge with people trying to get an audience from shorts to longs or longs to shorts. I'm not even sure if the audience does split their time, but that's a topic open to debate. Only YouTube knows the analytics behind that. And yeah, Travis, you are right in that I have been aware of short form content for a long time on YouTube, but I consider myself an amateur still, because I do not know how to make shorts in the conventional way of like telling a fun, narrative, entertaining story that gets a lot of views in a very quick time on a short. We seem to have weirdly been able to transition our utility education side of our long form content into shorts, whereby we get, I think when I last checked, 15% of our traffic comes from a shorts feed, and everything else comes from search and browse. So we're getting discovered for our shorts outside of where you conventionally might think you would watch the content, which is really weird and interesting to me. And it's why I continue to ask Renee, the creator liaison, to please give us custom thumbnails for shorts. But that's an argument for another day. So I don't know if it was a definitive answer there for you. It's just my observations of how YouTube, I think, has successfully integrated shorts into their platform, but it is still a big conundrum for creators as to whether to mix their time between longs and shorts. Like, several big channels have done it successfully, but I think for the average creator, it ends up being a bit of a distraction, thinking like, oh, there's opportunity in shorts, so I must do them. And like, is it taking time away from what you enjoy doing most? Or could it be that this creator ends up love doing shorts, in which case go all in with shorts? Unless they're thinking about the financial sustainability of it in the future, which is, again, a real challenge.
Jen and I talked about the vast difference in financial rewards of short form versus long form. But there is an analytic that you can look at if your channel has access to it, which most do, but whether or not you have enough traffic to get any information from it is up for debate. But on our channel, on the vidIQ channel, under the audience tab, there is an option that says formats your viewers watch on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I trust that, though.
Well, I was just about to say that, because it's one of the only metrics that YouTube will give you that has no numbers next to it. Only thing it gives you is a sliding scale of nobody watches to everybody watches. And according to ours, everybody watches our shorts and videos. So,
do they though?
That's the thing. I don't know. I
can kind of believe it a little bit, again, just because of a traffic source, that people are discovering our short form content outside of the shorts play. You know, they're not swiping, they're searching, and they're seeing us on a short shelf, as I believe that discovery to work.
There used to be one that showed like if people watched, but here it is, I found it. This is under content, viewers across formats. So this is a thing. I can show this on the video live stream, but I'm not going to in this particular case. But it shows, it's also another line thing, but it does have percentages of how many people watch videos, watch both, or watch shorts only. So for people who watch videos only, it's 39% for us. People who watch shorts only is 32%, and people who watch both is 29%. So it's pretty well split across.
Yeah, that's pretty good, I would have imagined.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Let's get to a second question. Question 2, because I try to gear my channel towards making upholstery how-to videos, I want to make it as evergreen as possible and rank in search. I'm not really sure how to achieve this. I've tried to optimize my keywords, titles for that, but I don't know if I'm missing anything else. I have one video that's gotten around 175 views from search and steadily increasing each week. Only like 900 or something total for one video. Is there a better way to achieve evergreen videos? We talked about all the ways to rank and search in a video that's on the channel. So if you go to the Boost YouTube channel, you'll see a video about how I ranked #1 without making a video, and it talks about YouTube search and how that works. So definitely check that out. I want to get to the last bit of this and the next question because we're starting to run out of time. Thank you for your time. I'm sure you're all busy, but just letting you know, if I hear this on the podcast, I'm going to freak out internally.
They're freaking out.
I do upholstery as a full-time job as well. So I find myself listening to maybe 40 hours of YouTube knowledge videos a week via the Boost, the vidIQ main channel, and recently Think Media podcast. So huge thank you for introducing that to me. Thanks again for everything you've done for me. You give me the confidence to start my dream career, and I will stop at nothing to succeed. Sincerely, Adrian. That's amazing. So I hope while he's upholstering, he's not screaming, and people are going, why are you doing that? Why are you screaming?
Well, our coaching program would also be a great place for Adrian. I would say maybe the majority of people come into the program and then end up staying because we're just like we're YouTube friends.
Yeah.
Like I had someone like 2 days ago who just lost their mind over how much they hated thumbnails. They couldn't do it anymore. It was stressing them out, and they just like car ranted at me and then sent another video. It was like, I'm so sorry that I vented like that, but I have no one else I can say that to. And I was like, hey, you're good. Like, I'm here for it. I get it.
Right.
Like, thumbnails suck. It's fine. She's like, okay, I'm really sorry. We can move on now. I'm like,
I love that.
Hey, it's part of the program. It's why we're here.
Our final question actually just made it in to the cut. It came in just 4 hours ago from Organically Blunt. Hope you're doing well.
Okay.
I heard on your podcast to reach out if I wanted an audit, et cetera, to try Boost. But my question is, what do you do when your content is always age restricted because it's cannabis education? I'm looking to grow, a pun, but unlike others regulated by YouTube, open to advice. Here's my channel. So we don't really do audits here. Well, I guess what I was saying, I don't remember if I said this or not. There is, if you have Boost, which by the way, you can, I don't know if you can try it free, but it's stupid cheap right now. Link is in the description of this video or in the show notes. If you sign up for it, there is a Discord, which has you get a private Discord, which there's a bunch of really very smart people in there that audit channels every single day. 100% highly recommend. If you have Boost already on your vidIQ account, you should go there today. Like, don't hesitate. And the way you get to it is you go to vidIQ.com, you sign in, and then you go to your. Let me do it real quick. Let's see, vidIQ. You sign in. You go to your little logo in the top right-hand corner, and then there's an option that says Account Settings. And then once you click that, there's an Apps and Extra, and then you can connect your Discord account to that. It's free. The Discord is free, but you have to, if you want to get to the cool Discord, you actually have to have Boost. Really cool stuff. They'll do that for you here. But this is a great question. And Rob, we've done audits on channels like this in the live stream before. You remember?
Yeah, I think we did one a couple of months ago, didn't we? From what I can remember.
Yeah.
But now you're asking me for some advice and suggestions and
some growth advice.
This is it, Rob. You're on the spot.
It's a bit of a default answer, but I'm guessing this creator started a channel and was inspired by other similar channels that may have the challenge of being age restricted. So I would do some really deep research into those channels, looking at the topics that they cover. And this kind of links back to the previous question about the upholstery channel, where I was thinking of the two things you want to try and focus on if you're wanting to get discovered through search, or you're trying to build a small channel, is you become the master or the ambassador of one particular solution or problem or search term that's underserved on YouTube, and you also go for these widest possible total addressable market videos for the audience. So in this case, it might be like a particular kind of legal rule about, how to purchase this substance in your country legally, like, because in Canada it's fully legal now. I'm sure it is in several states in the US. So like how to broach that type of question. That might be a bit more specific. But then also like a much broader question of like, is cannabis bad for me? Question mark. That could be like a question that's very broad, and it's like almost like a beginner's guide to the pros and cons of that. So that's how I would be approaching the research for this channel. And I wouldn't try to stress about being age restricted if there is proofs of concept. If there are other channels that are successful on YouTube, then that proves that you can run a channel like that on a platform, and it is accepted by YouTube, and you're not breaking any policies or rules regarding it.
Jen, have you done cannabis channel reviews or anything? Or do you have ideas in this?
No, actually. I can't say. It's really funny when that came up, and I was like, I've had some very unique channels, but that is not one of them.
Yeah, I think I like what Rob said about because I can think of a whole series of like all the things that people think about cannabis or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, myth busting.
And then doing those videos.
Yeah,
myth busting, 100%.
Is it an educational channel? Is that the direction they're going in?
What he says, which by the way, name is Jay Blaze, again, organically
Epic.
blunt. He doesn't really. It says cannabis education, so I feel like
okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, breaking down strains, what it means, what they're good for, what they're treating, versus content with this strain versus this strain. When you never want to use this one, when you want to use this one. There's so much education. I mean, it's like a gardening channel at that point. Go look at gardening channels. I mean, the same thing.
It's actually not a bad idea. At the end
But
of the
if
day,
it is like that, then I mean, you're really just talking about the same type of concepts.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't know that you're going to be able to get around the restricted thing, but I don't think you need to. Because people who are looking for it, it'll be suggested to them anyway.
Yeah, YouTube will find the audience for the content.
Yeah. All right, Rob. So the way we end these episodes is every week we describe and talk about one video that we saw this past week on YouTube that really kind of stuck with us for the week. So we'll start with you. Can you? And the way we usually do this is we go through our watch history just so we can quickly find something.
Yeah.
But we've always found some really fun stuff. So we talk about the channel and the video. Do you have anything that you watched this week kind of stuck with you that you would like people to watch?
This is a bit of a confession in that I am so busy making content that I rarely have a chance to just enjoy and watch YouTube these days. Does anybody else feel like that?
Sometimes. But
it happens. I watch less sometimes.
Yeah. But to answer the question, it is the one creator, and I'm sure everybody has this creator, irrelevant of a thumbnail of a title, I will watch their videos. And it is Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD. And he recently made a video about the FBI visiting his studio, which he'd hinted at before. And he was finally able to reveal what that was. And it was when he was reviewing one of his Escobar phones, the FBI turned up and wanted to ask him some questions and take the phones away as evidence. So I watched that, and like, I genuinely believe that I think Marquez Brownlee might be president in 20 years' time. I'm just gonna say it right now.
I would love that. I support that.
He's an incredible storyteller and communicator, and he has me literally in the palm of his hand when he's talking to camera. And like, I would love to emulate like 10% of his charisma and delivery and storytelling in his content.
Very cool.
He's good. He's
Jen,
good.
What about you?
Okay, so I've been watching a lot of, this is a small channel too. I've been watching a lot of Baker Bry, and he's 1.5K subs, and it's all sourdough education, but like
Sourdough education.
but like we were talking about, when you have to be the master of something that no one's answering, he finally answered a question that I just could not get a clear answer to. And it was overnight feeding ratios. So
I don't even know what that means. Rob?
I know this
Thoughts?
isn't another.
Well, I didn't
I'm
think
like,
that
this one's
was
so
about
specific.
sourdough. I thought that might be related to some other thing that parents have to
That's
deal with,
interesting.
overnight feeding ratios. I didn't know it had anything to do
Maybe
with
it's
bread.
another cannabis channel.
Maybe. I'm curious, Jen. How much is that? An outlier video for the channel, like, because it was is it a solution that only you needed, or is it one
Ooh.
that bread enthusiasts
Actually, let me-
are starving for an answer to? Don't
Let
forgive
me
the pun. I did that on
see.
purpose.
So 288 views.
Yeah.
Let's see what the other. No, it's actually one of like his underperforming videos.
Irony.
Oh man. A lot of but still really focusing on very direct and specific questions. I think the top performer here is what happens when you don't shape your sourdough. Very straightforward. Just this is what's going to happen.
So what I'm hoping there, Jen, is that you put a comment in that video and said like, "Oh, I've been looking for this answer anywhere, and you're the first one to tell me." Like that would make it feel so good.
We talked
And
about
I
leaving
told
messages.
him he saved my life.
There you go.
I commented and I said, "You saved my
There we go.
life. I have not been
Love
able
it.
to figure this out for years, and you're the first person who has actually explained this concept."
We talked about
Did he
this.
reply to me?
He should have. If he didn't, how dare you? But we actually talked about this, Rob, a couple of weeks ago, where we said we need to, and I need to, because I watch most of my YouTube on television, so it's hard to leave comments. But we really want to like encourage people to leave comments, especially on videos that you like, just because it's a cool thing that everyone here that's a creator listening. Obviously, they love to get comments. So
Yeah.
just think about it as a viewer, whenever you can. Okay, for me. So mine is heavily influenced by the fact that I went and saw Deadpool versus Wolverine, and what an incredible movie! For me, I didn't expect this to happen, but it's actually one of my top movies of all time. It's one of my top favorite movies I've ever seen, which
Wow.
is not at all what I thought would happen when I went to go see it. I thought it'd be fun. I walked out of there
Okay.
like
Relax
a whole
with
vibe.
the spoilers.
I'm not saying what happened. I'm just saying. But what the reason I say that influenced my YouTube watching this week is because obviously Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman did a bunch of like promo tour stuff on YouTube through a lot of different channels, a lot of different media outlets. And one of the ones that I really enjoyed, because these two they're really funny together and they're obviously good friends, so it's always fun to watch that. The one I watched a bunch of them, but the one I really liked was the Vanity Fair video that they did a couple weeks ago, where Ryan and Hugh Jackman take lie detector tests and ask each other questions, which was great. Fantastic. So much fun to watch because they made each other squirm and laugh, and it was just a whole fun time. So check that out on the Vanity Fair YouTube channel.
Did you watch the First We Feast one with them yet?
It's on the list. Haven't watched it yet. I can't wait to see it.
It's so good. It's so good.
That channel is just that channel just knows how to do it.
I'm very much in.
You get everybody.
I'm very much in lockdown mode at the moment. I'm trying to avoid any Deadpool versus Wolverine and
Yeah.
House of the Dragon mentions of anything because I'm waiting till the season to end of House of the Dragon before I watch it.
Oh, good luck.
It's hard work. It's hard work avoiding
That's
spoilers.
scary. That's like constantly living in fear, Rob. Are
Yeah,
you doing
it's
okay?
like I'm on Reddit and like I see a picture go.
For those of you listening on audio, he was just
Oh
slacking very fast.
gosh. Wait, did either of you watch How I Met Your Mother?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Oh, you haven't watched it though? Ugh, there was an episode where they're trying to avoid the Super Bowl because they are celebrating a day late, and he created a contraption for headphones and something to cover his eyes just to see through so we could go to the bar to pick up
That's
wings.
funny.
I'm like, that's what Rob's walking around in.
That's hilarious. Too funny. Well, Rob, we enjoyed having you here. Hopefully, you'll come next time.
I
again,
had
or some
an
other
awesome time. It was cool just to chat YouTube Didn't feel like there was any pressure. It was just like 3 creators chatting YouTube, and let the Boost crew know if you would like to have me on again.
Yeah.
And if there's enough of a demand, then I'll come take over the show.
Amazing. You can send us a message at theboost@vidIQ.com or use the little button there on the audio podcast that allows you to send us a text message. And we'll see y'all guys and gals next week. Keep on creating. We'll see you soon.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Tube Talk, brought to you by vidIQ. Head over to vidIQ.com/Tube Talk for today's show notes and previous episodes. Enjoy the rest of your video making day.